Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Summer. In this video I want to talk about this lady that came up to say that Sunny Ade is her father. So I came across this video on Punch News, but it was a video, it was a Yoruba language video, but I'm gonna explain to you guys. Basically she was saying that she said, that's what she said, I'm going to quote that what she said, that kind of approached her and asked her about her real father and told her that she should ask her mother who her father is, something like that. And she then, you know, went to her mother and asked her mother. Initially she didn't take it seriously. She discussed it with her husband, and her husband said, yeah, well, don't ignore the message, go and speak with your mother. And she went and spoke with her mother and told her, long story short, my message is not even about that detail, but let me just give you guys a tiny bit of explanation. She said something about when the mother was younger, there was a particular man that the parents wanted her to marry. The man was much older than her and she didn't want to marry that man, and they were forcing her to marry that man. I will come back to Sunny Ade and her paternity test and all of that in a second, but it's an opportunity to still address this thing. I know our forefathers didn't know better, but I'm hoping this generation can begin to change this thing about, you know, parents forcing somebody to marry somebody. How do you force somebody to marry somebody? Do you know what it is? You can't even force somebody to be somebody's friend. You can't. People have to get along to say, oh yeah, I like her to be my friend. I have some friends that are amazing in my life, but I stumbled upon them myself and I gelled with them. You know what I mean by gelled with them? That's pidgin. That's kind of like pidgin English, whatever. You know, we say I don't know how to say, but like I got along so well. I really like this friendship and I built on it, and I have enjoyed this friendship for years. I have friends that I've had for 20 years or more, or even 10 years or whatever. It is because of how well we get on that made us stay friends. But imagine someone come from somewhere and just say, boom, that's your friend, you must be friends by force. It doesn't work that way. Do you know some people say, I will get a job, and they say, I like that job, but I don't like that Maoga. I'm quitting this job. I can't stand him. I can't stand her. My co-workers are crap. I really can't be around them. They are not good for my mental health. I don't like I'm going to leave this job. Ordinary job. Then imagine someone you're about to spend a lifetime with, for people to want to force you to marry that person. That is unacceptable. Advice is good. Suggest is good. I think I see the need to discuss it more because it's something I have experienced. And I still sit back and I wonder, like, why? A lot of you may have seen my videos where I talk about, you know, my own situation. It was a Yoruba man and I'm Igbo. My family were not really in support because, like, okay, we are Igbos, we shouldn't be marrying Yorubas. And his family was the same. His parents, I mean, his father and mother, no way, you can't marry Yoruba over my dead body. My father said over my dead body. I'll always give my father that among all the parents, his two parents, his father and mother, my father and mother, my father was the only one that came around. And what my father did, I still feel it. My father is dead now, so whenever I talk about him, I get a bit, you know. My father, and I told my father, I said, meet him first. Meet him, because it's not just tribe. I don't like tribalism. I don't like racism. Let me tell you, I've said it before, those of us that haven't claimed to be Christians, when people die and leave this world, when we die and leave this world, God is not going to ask you, tell me, are you Yoruba or Igbo? It wouldn't matter. So why? There are some Igbos married to Igbos that have, their marriages are terrible. Some Yorubas married to Yorubas and their marriages are terrible. But there are some people that have intermarried and their marriages are amazing. There are some people that have intermarried and their marriages are terrible. So why can't we go beyond just looking at tribe? I've explained to people before. A lot of us know our tribe because we were born and grew up in our homes. What about children that were born and left in orphanages that do not even know what tribe they are? So who are they going to be racist against? I mean, racist, tribalistic against. But coming to one thing that my father did that I always respect him. If I say respect, because he's God, I don't know if that's the word. But let's say I have that, you know, thing in my heart for him, you know, for that. I told my father, I said, meet him first. Meet him first and then make up your mind. My father agreed. My father met him and fell in love with him. Just meeting him. Oh my God. Oh. I try not to get mad. Every time I talk about my father, because he's gone, I try not to think about him, because every time I think about my father, I get emotional. And then when I'm telling the story, I'm remembering exactly how it happens, and then I feel it. You know, I feel like, not feel his presence, but I kind of remember my father. But anyways, I remember the day my father met him, and I could see the smile on my father's face. My father liked him. He was not a bad guy. I watch my videos, I never said he was a bad guy. Fine, he disappointed me in some ways which I've explained. He wasn't a bad guy. But my father met him, and my father met a human being that he saw was not a bad person. He felt comfortable with him. And my father had a turnaround. Among all the parents, he was the only one that had a turnaround. His own father and mother, when he even went and said, okay, meet her first, they don't agree. They don't even want to meet her at all. You can marry any woman you would like, but you cannot marry Igbo. Talking about it now, I'm going to go back to the paternity in a second, but this is also important. Now, my father is dead. His father is dead. His mother is dead. By the grace of God, my mother is still alive. She's not young. She can be gone anytime. But I pray to God, please God gives her even more time. My mother will not be Matakere. My mother is not a baby. Let me put that way, right? Eventually, she's going to be gone someday. And then what are we left with? Our own lives left to live. The parents sometimes that are, or others that try to say you must do this, you must do that, they came by themselves and they are living by themselves. What life you live is yours to live. The so-called my father said, my mother said, where are his parents now to say? They're not there anymore. You get my point. Me and you two will be gone someday. And I apply that when I'm raising my children. I always remind myself that I won't be here forever. So, and I make sure that they know the decision you're making. This is your future. This is your life. There are sometimes that are good reasons for parents to say, don't go into that marriage. There are some good reasons. Explain to the child and leave it there. You understand? But not because I said so. Or because of something as minor as tribe. And say, I don't even want to meet her at all. I don't want to see her at all. Do you know what I mean? Okay. That's that. Going back to this. This lady said her mother was being forced. I will put a link. You guys, did I save that? I don't know if I saved the link. If I save the link, I will put the link and you guys can go watch it. Those of you that understand Yoruba. I think they even transcribed it. I think they translated it on the screen as well. I think you can go watch it and hear the whole tiny details about this lady's story. Long story short, she then tried to approach Sonny Ade. Eventually, her mother told her that Sonny Ade is her father. So she tried to go meet up with him, and she said first attempt nothing, second attempt I think she went through human rights or whatever. They tried to contact him. I think they wrote him a letter or whatever, and he's not responding to that and all of that. And she said she's not starving or she's not like contacting him for anything. She just wants to, you know, find out if truly he is her father. And people are saying they see resemblance. I'm going to be honest, I didn't see it. I will look again, to be honest with you. I personally didn't see it, but it doesn't mean he's not her father. Some people may look at it and say, but look at this very well, you will see it. Maybe sometimes, you know, sometimes you may look, oh, not true, oh. But I'm being honest with you guys now. But in the comment, people were saying, oh my goodness, they look alike, right? So it could be just me not seeing it. I'm not perfect, right? But I watched that and I kind of felt for her, because if truly Sonny Ade is her father, she has the right to know. That's how I feel. Forget about even the legal right or whatever. I'm not going to all that aspect. She's a grown woman. She is old enough to even have a grandchild. She's not that young. But to finally find out that, okay, this is not your father, this is your father, whatever, at whatever age, I think is something that anybody have a right to be sure. You understand? If truly he is her father. If intentionally, because I don't know, I can't say if he's intentionally not wanting to meet her or whatever. If he's intentionally not wanting to meet her, I feel like that's still not right. It would be a nice thing to confirm and, oh yeah, I have one other child, and he too can get to know her before whatever time God is going to call him home. And on the other hand, I was thinking to myself, but what if everybody just come up and say, you're my father? And so they're going to do paternity tests left, right, and center. Do you understand? Because anybody can come up and say, you're my father, whatever. But at the same time, I'm just saying this thing was played, because that's one thing about me. When I'm thinking about something, it will play in my mind this way, it will play in my mind the other way. I also thought about it that, okay, if the mother is sharing her story about how they met, it is left for the man to know whether, did I meet anybody like that? Did that ever happen? For him to even ask, okay, I never met that woman, so it's not possible. He can say that. You know, what if the mother is making a mistake? She's not, maybe her memory has failed her or whatever. I'm just putting all the different angles for the story. Bottom line, my opinion about situations like this is this. Because sometimes you may be like, you know what, if he doesn't want to meet you, then forget it, move with your life. It's not that easy. Some people may be able to move on with their lives and be like, do you know what I mean? I know some people may want to accuse her and say, I won't collect inheritance. That's an accusation. From the story, she's not the one that woke up and said, Sonny Ade is her father, right? Bottom line, anyways, I just wanted to quickly come and share the story and to say, for people that do not understand, sometimes it is not just even about money, inheritance, whatever. There is that human need for people to say, okay, so this is actually the family where I come from. Those are my cousins. Do you know, another tricky thing is, if people do not know who their fathers are or whatever, And the mother kept it a secret all these years. I don't know. I'm not trying to blame her, but I'm just being honest. It's not a good thing. I feel like the least a woman can do is letting if the woman knows, is letting a child know who their real father is. I feel like one of the least, like it's not a lot. I feel like it's unfair on any child not to know who their real father is. Or else maybe there are extreme cases where for whatever reason. But in most cases, she kept it. I'm not going to question her. And their time and our time is not the same. So I don't know how rigid life was for them in those days. And now for 2022, this generation, men, be careful where you spill your juice. The same goes to women. But the thing is this, the juice has to be spilled for anything to happen. At least, no matter what, why I'm always referring to men, you see, a woman always knows her child. Because now she go carry belly and she go born her. A man no go know. Now see they spill and so they germinate up and down. You get my point? That is why somebody will have a child and not even know. Some people posted that he went to play away match, allegedly, and then waited a few months later, he got the, let me call it good news. I think sorry. Is it not good news? Igbo say it's God that gives a pikin, Abi. What do you want me to say? That the woman is pregnant. And he didn't know that when he went, and he was trying to go like this, and say, all this gra. He could have done it from the beginning by keeping his juice to himself. That wouldn't have happened. You get my point? That is the message for today. For women, like I said, women will always know that they have a child. Because they carry belly. Men no go know until the thing come meet them later when they don't expect it. But I think there are even some men that they may not even know. And if they had known, they would love to be in the child's life. There are some men like that. But they will lose that opportunity because of the way it is. A woman doesn't lose that opportunity because a woman always knows, I'm pregnant, I'm having a baby. A man no go know. You understand? So, but I want to also say to women, I strongly believe that it is wrong not to let the child know that who their real father is, and not to let the man know that they have a child with you. I feel like it's wrong. See, this life we're here once. Let's do it right, as to the best of our abilities. You understand? Imagine if, for example, Sonia Ade ended up becoming truly her father. It means that Sonia Ade lived all these years not knowing that I had this other child. You don't know what kind of relationship they would have had. She could have been the most amazing daughter. He would have enjoyed whatever way he would have enjoyed her. She may have, her life may have been different. She has been robbed of that. I'm just saying generally. This is how I see it anyways. You know, this is my opinion about it. As always, whatever your opinions are, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. With that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.